Hello, everybody. I just had a few questions on the sandworm, and this is what it looks like so far. It is incomplete. It's not finished yet, so just give me some leeway there. But I just wanted to make a quick video, hopefully not more than a few minutes long, just to answer some questions. I was taking a bunch of pictures. They would have been impossible to understand without a whole bunch of really long captions, so I decided to make a video instead. All right, really quickly, excuse me, materials. The body is a 10-foot dog agility tube. Was once blue. It's now spray painted black and white. It has a whole bunch of wrinkles in it. Just decided to lean into those instead of trying to steam them out. I think I kind of like it, but we did do some shading and overspray on intentionally to make sure that you could actually see those on purpose. This is the tail piece. It's intended to be separate. It's unpainted right now. It's about 7 feet long, worn like a backpack. We'll talk about that in a second. And then the head, of course, is the important part and the part that I've had the most questions about. Materials really fast. This is 1/2-inch polyfoam. You can get it as project foam from Walmart, about 15 bucks for a roll of 2 foot by 6 foot. It's 1/2-inch polyfoam. And then this is, the whole frame is PVC, and it's covered with foam clay. We'll talk about foam clay a little bit more in just a second here. This is a black nylon mesh. Wanted to give them a bit of a window to the world, and just like scrim, depending on how it's lit, is what you can see, what you can and can't see through it depends on how it's lit. Anyway, I'm going to take a second to roll her on her side, and then we'll talk about the inside, which is what we've had most questions about. Okay, so I've rolled her on her side. This is the underside. You can obviously tell that it's blue. Of course, nobody's going to see this part except for my casting crew, so it doesn't really matter. Again, cut several holes into it. There are 3 holes there for the main part of the frame, and there's 1 in sort of the end of the body, and then the tail piece is, again, separate. We'll talk about that. So this main part of the frame is intended for 3 kids. Let me shed a little bit of light on it. This is intended for 2 kids initially. So this is the main puppeteer, sits here, and of course, again, it's on its side. So the person's shoulders would go directly under those pieces of black padding there. And this frame is made of 1-inch Schedule 40 furniture grade PVC. It's quite strong. For several reasons. One of them is that I do intend to have a whole bunch of rehearsal about Beetlejuice sitting in the middle of it and writing it in a second appearance. Okay, so let's talk about weight a little bit. So the 1-inch PVC is a little bit heavy. None of this is super heavy. I mean, the head part is framed in 3/4-inch PVC. It's just going to look confusing. Don't worry. We'll talk about it. 3/4-inch PVC, again, Schedule 40 furniture grade, furniture grade PVC. And we'll talk about it in just a second. But this main frame is intended to act as a frame for the main part of the head, as well as a frame for Beetlejuice to ride. In between the two, here's the main puppeteer, the head puppeteer. This person is support and counterweight, using the main puppeteer's shoulders as a fulcrum. That's counterweight. The whole head, made of 3/4-inch PVC and polyfoam and other stuff, probably weighs about 25 or 30 pounds, which isn't a ton unless you're a middle school kid and it's all hanging off the front of you. Then it becomes unwieldy. So that's why we have this person as a counterweight strapped in. This is just a cannibalized backpack bolted to the frame. Okay, so how the frames are connected, I'm going to take a second and open it up, and we're going to talk about it. But here is a view from the inside. All sorts of confusing. You can see why I didn't want to post photos. Again, this is on its side. Let me see if hopefully it won't. So this is how it would be normally oriented if you were inside it. And we're going to talk about controls and such and connections. Okay, just one second. Okay, so I've opened the lower part of the outer jaw just to show you sort of how it's connected and start to show you how it works. First of all, again, unfinished, all of the inside of this lower jaw, top and bottom, will be sprayed ultra matte black. And there will be more nylon mesh in a couple of pieces on the top and the bottom. Make sure that we're covering up all this exposed pipe, which will also be painted. Anyway, so the way it's connected, that is a spring hinge right there. It's not intended to keep it closed, and it doesn't, just because of the leverage. It's not built to do that. It's just meant to soften the opening of the jaw. So this part of the frame, again, yes, it is bent with heat. It's a heat gun with a heat gun, and you can see all kinds of fittings that I've put on there just to make it usable. I'm trying to go fast here just to make sure that we don't make this video super duper long and everybody hate me for that. But if you want more details, I suppose we can make a more detailed video as well. But so yes, 3/4 inch PVC. All of this is connected to the main frame that you can see through there. That is 1 inch PVC. This what does hold the bottom jaw up. Those are 100-pound neodymium magnets. They don't hold it up by themselves, so this is a sort of a handle, a lever for the main puppeteer to hold until it's ready to open. And then, of course, the inner jaw, I've got it, it's bound up using a cable in the upper jaw, because if that lays on the lower jaw, it makes it really unwieldy and really hang down. So we want to keep that up until they're ready to sort of deploy it and use it. But anyway, so again, the lips and the gums and the teeth and the tongue, all that is sculpted out of foam clay. Really easy to use. I am not a sculptor, just Play-Doh when I was a kid. But this is all just a foam clay around PVC. It's really, really easy to use, and when it dries, it's super duper light. It's I don't know if you know what EVA foam is. EVA foam is often used in cosplay and puppetry, but EVA foam is really, really light. It's high density closed cell foam, and this is basically that in clay form. It takes about 48 hours to dry, and is really awesome stuff. By the way, these owies are just I had some teeth on the outer jaw that I hated, so I yanked them off today, and I'm going to rework those. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to one more pause, and then I'm going to open it up the rest of the way, and I'll show you kind of how it works. Okay, we're still on the side. We're going to sneak in here and orient it, hopefully more like you would see it from the inside. So this little connection right here, that is a cable that runs up along the outer head that holds the inner head up in the upper jaw. So all you do, and it's marked in yellow, of course, but all you do is just kind of disconnect this, and then when it's ready to be deployed, you drop the lower jaw, you disconnect that, and you push forward on this kind of looks like a handlebar there. Again, I'm trying to orient it correctly. So this little cross piece here, you push really hard against that. Your shoulders are back against this padded piece here. So really easy to sort of push forward. And as you push that forward, it is connected to the upper jaw using, again, you can see there's a, you can see that silver part there. That's a that's a PVC hinge. It's aluminum, and so it's connected to the upper jaw. And when you push it out, it deploys, it pushes out, and it opens up the inner jaw. And we'll talk about that really quick. Okay, so now it's fully open, and the inner jaw is completely sort of pushed out. And again, when you push out on, this is that cross piece that we were talking about before, you push out on that, and it kind of levers the upper jaw up. Let's see if I can get that. Okay, so you can see right there, that little piece is connected to the upper jaw. So when you push this out, it does lever that up. So you're just pushing straight out on the inner jaw, and again, unfinished. So anyway, you can see the cable system that holds it up into the upper jaw there, and also the cable that holds it. So again, it doesn't just fully drop. But with the aid of gravity, the inner jaw would be open about this far. That's how far it's intended to open. And again, it's just kind of, this is mostly foam clay, and this is, again, the 1/2-inch polyfoam. It's just painted, and got little freckles there on the top and the bottom. Eyes are just LED puck lights. They're tap lights. I've got 3 AA batteries in each of them. They're multicolored. Pretty cool. Amazon. All right. So this is like a stretch velour that I'm going to put on the top as well, and a little bit of that black mesh in the back there to cover that up, and again, make it so that the puppeteers can see through it when it's open, or the main puppeteer anyway. So obviously, it's going to look like that coming at the audience, but anyway. So it's a forced perspective is a little weird. All right, so really quickly, the controls, once you get it open, you can see that bicycle brake lever, I hope, right there in the middle. And when you sort of pull on that, it's going to do a couple of things. I'm going to reach through here and do it. You pull on that, it's going to make short throw. It's going to make the tongue wiggle up and down. Again, gravity is not helping. But also long throw, it does give us a little bit of chomp action with the inner jaw. You don't want it to close all the way, because again, we want it to grab Juno by the shoulder and pull her out. And because sandworms eat ghosts. Yeah, foreshadowing. Okay. I heard you say it. Okay, anyway, so this, there's the tongue. Again, foam clay around some doubled up heavy gauge wire. This is all hand painted as well. This is painted. It's not nothing fancy. It's just schoolroom acrylics. Anyway, all this will be painted matte black, and I'll be covered up with the black mesh. I think that's about all the questions that we had. Yes, it's bent with a heat gun. The 3/4 inch is really easy to work with, and you just kind of have to heat it all around. But the other stuff, the 1 inch is a little bit more difficult to work with. You see the multicolors there, not very well, because Anyway, any more questions, let me know. We can make a bigger video. This is already going to be way too freaking long, but all right. Thanks.